Hey guys, thanks for coming. Hold tight just while we're waiting for a few more people to roll on in. Coolio. Let's get started. Cool. So, thank you so much for coming. My name's Dallas. I'm one of the enrollment advisors here at Coder Academy. And yeah, we're going to have a bit of a chat about our data science bootcamp coming up in April. So before we jump on in, I'm just going to hand over to Lee, who's one of our other enrollment advisors, for a short chat.
Hello, I hope you can hear me well. My internet has been playing up a little bit. I'm going to be in the live chat to answer any questions that come up and to post any useful links that you may find a use for, including, links to apply, links for our scholarships, things like that. What I will ask of you guys in the chat, you will see where it says to. If you could click on everyone, that would make a big difference to us. That just means that everyone is able to see all of the comments that have come up and everybody can read the replies and we know that we haven't missed anything. If there's any questions which are a little bit more difficult insofar as we need a bit more information to answer them, we will certainly still answer. It may be after the session that we get back to you on those ones. Do enjoy the session. Dallas will take you through pretty much everything you need to know about the course. And yeah, we hope to chat with you on the phone soon. Bye.
Cool. Thanks so much, Lee. Righty-o. Let's get the ball rolling. Sorry, guys. Bear with me. Cool. So do me a favor and just let me know in the chat whether you can see my screen, what I'm sharing. And then we'll get the ball rolling. Cool. Thank you so much. Rightio. So unlock the predictive power of data, become a data scientist. This is what you can do by joining us for our data science bootcamp. So every industry needs data scientists. As you can see, there's a few industries there, whether it be data science itself, streaming, conservation, healthcare, finance, future cars. There's so many opportunities available. There's so much data kicking around in general. And in our bootcamp, what we're going to do is we're going to teach you everything you need to know about sort of like data manipulation, cleaning data sets, basically, utilizing data to create data stories. And also when it comes to data science, I guess theorizing with data as well. All the sort of data that you'll be dealing with in our boot camps are going to be data from all over the place, all sorts of industries. So by the time you move out of the boot camp afterwards and are ready to break into the industry, you will, I guess, know how to deal with data from really any area. It doesn't need to be a specific area that you have an expertise in. So job outcomes, there's a few here: data analyst, data scientist, business intelligence analyst, and data consultant. Basically, anything to do with data, really, and back-end development. So the average salary for a data scientist is about $110,000 a year. Now that is the average. So your more entry-level jobs are going to be around probably the $60,000 mark, which isn't too bad a place to sort of start off either. But 110K being the average means that you've got a fair way you can go up as well. So 650% increase in data science jobs since 2012. Data scientist as a job title has dominated the top 3 job rankings globally for the past decade. The number of jobs predicted to increase by just under 30% in the next 5 years too. So there should be plenty of jobs available. So market demand for data science. So currently data analysis skills are outdated compared to employers' requirements. More than half of Australia possesses little to no understanding of coding, blockchain, AI, and data visualization. Roles like machine learning, data science, data engineering, and are ranked as the second most sought after job types, surpassing traditional skills like engineering, customer support. The demand for data science professionals will increase by just under 30% across the next 5 years. So look, yeah, I guess get into it now, and yeah, it's gonna be good. So these are just a few companies that our grads are actually working at. Some of them are bigger companies and you're probably aware of them. Some of them are medium-sized ones, and the smaller ones you may not be familiar with, but there is lots and lots of companies that we partner with to basically have our industry placement that occurs at the end of the course. Anna, doing a boot camp has been very hard, but so rewarding. The amount of growth I've experienced in these few months has been mind-blowing. I'm extremely motivated to find my first role and can't wait to see what lies ahead with her career journey. So yeah. And Shinonso, I wanted a career in web development, and through my research, I discovered that a boot camp would provide me with the quickest and most successful path into the tech industry. My experience with Coder Academy so far has been intense, challenging, but absolutely worthwhile. So why Coder Academy? I mean, we're #1 ranked Australian coding bootcamp provider, which is fantastic. We've got a 95% positive rating on Course Report. If you're not aware of Course Report, definitely check it out. Give that one a Google. Basically, Course Report is a great place you can go and check out, I guess, unbiased reviews on all sorts of institutes, not necessarily tech or coding, but everywhere. And we happen to have a 95% positive rating on there. So a lot of students actually review us during our courses and even like afterwards. And they've really pretty much got good things to say. So we're quite lucky about that. And we're also, I believe, in the top 55 list of best boot camps in the world. So we're in there as well. So yeah, definitely check it out. But our approach to learning is a boot camp style. It's hands-on and practical. So there's about 800 plus hours of hands-on practical coding that you will be completing with us. And we tend to only really, have the theory that we think is necessary for you to, I guess, thrive day to day in tech after completion of the course. So it really is hands-on, it's practical. It's getting, your hands dirty with code and really talking about the important things and none of the other fluff that doesn't necessarily need to be taught to you. We have the Bootcamp Placement Program or the Bootcamp Industry Project. So that's going to happen at the end of the bootcamp. Whereas, you can join us, you can participate in an industry placement with one of our partnering companies, or you can join the Bootcamp Placement Program where you'll be completing an industry level sort of project with us. So the employment outcomes there, we've got 65% that are hired from our industry placement, which is pretty good numbers really, and 80% just across the board after completion of our boot camps end up getting offered, gaining employment within a few weeks of completion of the course. So yeah, we really do have quite a good success rate of students moving into industry afterwards because that's what we're all about. We want to help students transition from education to industry. And for the student experience there, we've got industry experts and mentors that either come into the classroom or virtually join us to sort of discuss who they are, what they do, and for who they do it. So what companies, and they also like to talk about sort of like their journey to get to where they are and maybe how it might differ from how your journey would be, and to give you some sort of tips as to what they would have done differently. But yeah, other than that, there's plenty of networking sort of opportunities available as well. And yeah, it's just a really good experience all around. So our boot camps, basically, we're looking to try and have the boot camp start in April. We don't have a confirmed date just yet. We are waiting on the approval of the accreditation, which is a little bit annoying. Unfortunately, we don't have it just yet because we are there's a lot of institutes that are waiting on this right now. The approving body is a little bit busy, unfortunately. So we're waiting on that one. If we cannot gain the approval of the accreditation, in 2 to 3 weeks in preparation for this April intake, we will move that date back because we will be delivering an accredited course. So stay tuned for that one. we will basically, lock it in or push it back soon enough. Basically, the delivery is going to be on campus or virtual. So delivered 3 days a week for 10 months. So Thursday to Saturday. Thursday and Friday will be delivered in class on campus. It's when the new content's delivered, or virtually, depending on your attendance. And basically, the Saturday will be an asynchronous learning day where you're actually going to be chipping away at tutorials and modules that have been provided by your educator. And they're mainly going to be sort of like focusing on things you've previously learned to try and iterate on that and help it sink in. And occasionally you might be asked to work on something in preparation for a class in the following week. For the most part, it's autonomous sort of stuff done on that Saturday. But sometimes, your educator may ask you to work in small pairs or groups. But yeah, and the locations, we've got Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane, plus our virtual classrooms. So you can also mix it up as well. For instance, if you decided to join us at our Brisbane campus, and maybe you couldn't make it in that day, more than happy for you to join us virtually as well. But yeah, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So 3 solid days, Thursday to Saturday. Our other one there is to be confirmed. It won't be happening for at least 6 months. But we potentially may have an accelerated version of this bootcamp, which is delivered in 6 months down the track. This one, the price there is just under 21,000 in total. Okay. It's a diploma of data science. Okay. Pending accreditation, like I mentioned. And once the accreditation does come through, this bootcamp will be available to have payment deferred using a government loan fee help if you're an Australian citizen. And everyone else will have the option of paying in monthly installments. Okay. Australian citizens will also have the option of paying a monthly installment if you choose to get in that path. Cool. So term 1, programming for data analytics, statistical analysis and data engineering. Term 2 will be machine learning, cloud computing, data ethics and privacy, and software design for data professionals. And then you've got your electives in term 3, which is the Bootcamp Placement Program or the Bootcamp Industry Project. These are a few subject overviews. I won't go through all of them, but essentially, you're going to be a few there. You're going to be learning to basically, scrape, clean, and manipulate data sets to create data stories. You'll also learn to, visualize data as well. And then there's one there that stands out, the cloud computing, data ethics, and privacy. Obviously, when it comes to data, things can be sensitive, and you can kind of uncover a lot of different information. And you can also skew information when you're delivering it. So kind of just talks about ways that you should be using data for good, so to speak. So our bootcamps are ideal for career changers, upskillers, and uni students and grads. So career changers, there's plenty of people out there that are looking to change career, but may not want to, dedicate a lot of time to study in order to do that, especially people who have already previously completed degrees and maybe spent 3 years of their life as a student, and they don't want to, go back and don't have the time for that anymore. So we get a lot of career changers on board, and our boot camps do teach students from the ground up. So you can come on board with little to no knowledge at all, and then walk out the door at the end, as a data scientist, ready to break into the industry. Upskillers, there are plenty of people that come on board with our boot camps as well that are currently in IT, or maybe they've been data analysts for a while, but they could be like old school data analysts, which are just still using Excel with VBA. So these people want to come in and basically upskill in the latest technology for the job that they currently do, to try and help them sort of secure their foothold, so to speak, in their position already. And then you've got uni students and grads, ones that decide that maybe uni could be moving a little bit slowly for them. There could be too much fluff, too many subjects that really aren't relative to what they want to do. And then there's also, unfortunately, some uni students that have completed degrees but haven't been able to actually gain employment because they just haven't had enough, hands-on practical skills and enough enough experience. And they come on board with us because, obviously that's what we can offer. Diversity and Tech Scholarship. So we have a 50% off scholarship per intake per campus. So 50% off all course fees, open to all domestic students. Basically, you just need to showcase us that you're a diverse choice for the scholarship to be a winner. What sort of diversity you're going to bring to Coder Academy? Tell us what sort of diversity you're going to bring to the industry after completion of the course. And you look, there is just a lot more information to check out on the diversity in tech scholarship on our website. So I definitely suggest going and check that out because there is so much, but it's really cool. That one actually opens up about a month before the start date of the course. And then it'll stay open for a few weeks. And then basically what happens next is we'll go through interviews and then we'll announce the winner of the scholarship 1 week prior to the start date of the course. The application process, you go ahead and apply on the website or via one of the emails we may have sent through because we've probably been in touch with a few of you guys. And then what you do is you complete an admissions interview. The admissions interview is pretty cruisy, just a conversation with someone from the academic team to make sure you're a good fit for us and we're a good fit for you. And then if all goes well after that, you'll be sent the enrollment link and you can go ahead and smash that one out and get yourself locked in for a bootcamp. And once you have actually gotten locked in for a course, we will send out something called pre-work where you can start working on a few things in preparation for the course starting. Now, because this particular course does not have the accreditation just yet, what you'll be doing is the application form is technically an expression of interest. So you will come through after the application and then you'll get put into a wait list. We suggest actually completing that EOI so that you can get waitlisted purely because we've got a few people who have jumped on board now. So essentially, in order to secure your spot, go ahead and complete an expression of interest. And then once we have that approval, we'll go straight through and we'll lock in these admissions interviews. So go ahead and apply online. That's our website there. And look, there's myself and there is Lee. So look, I'm in Brisbane, Lee's in Sydney, but to be fair, reach out to whoever you want. That's our details there. We'd love to have a chat with you. And, we do want you to, ask you questions in chat today as well. And we're happy to go ahead and answer them. But if you, really don't want to ask any questions, right here, you can always give us a call or shoot us an email at those addresses or phone numbers there. Obviously, we're both covering Melbourne as well. So definitely reach out to us. If you're in Sydney, maybe call Lee. If you're in Brisbane, call me. It just sort of makes sense because that's where we're located and we know the areas better. And we know the climate better as well. But yeah, realistically, you can reach out to any one of us for a chat. We love to talk. Cool. Also, go ahead and connect with us. This is our website, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. It's a great place to sort of check out, I guess, the culture that we have at Coder Academy. It's a lot of fun. And there's a lot of, past students and grads that still tag us in things today on our socials. So you can get a really good, idea of like sort of how tight knit the community is with Coder Academy. And it's just a good place to sort of see what we're like. Cool. Rightio, we'll get Lee to come back on and have a bit of a chinwag. Hello.
Hi.
Hey, how did the go?
Good. I'm just popping the diversity scholarship application form up there just so people can see that as well. We just have one at the end here from Guillermo. One of the main obstacles I've found as a career changer who already completed a Cert 4 in programming is the lack of industry experience. How does Coder Academy help students in this situation?
Yeah, sure. So like I said earlier, we have like about 800 plus hours of hands-on practical coding that happens in our boot camps. Also, our boot camps, look, it's pending accreditation, but it's going to be a higher education diploma is what you'll be receiving. So, I guess, Cert 4 is fantastic, but it's like not quite as respected as a diploma would be. But yeah, basically that's what we have to offer. Also, the industry placement at the end, which is, a 4-week unpaid internship that occurs, with one of our partnering companies. I threw a few up before, but like, realistically, we probably have, about a couple of thousand companies that partner with us. We always have maybe 200 or 300 of those companies sort of like on the go at any given moment. So we're always talking to multiple people. But basically, you go ahead and do a 4-week unpaid internship with one of those companies. Sometimes they're paid. A lot of companies seem to be moving towards that climate of paying their interns. But basically, after that, you'll be ready to actually move into industry directly if you don't get hired by one of those companies afterwards, or at least have a job offer. So I guess that's what we can sort of offer with industry experience, because like I said as well, good, no worries. Glad I answered your question. But yeah, like I said, what was I going to say? I was definitely going to say something. Oh yeah, we're all about sort of like helping students transition from education to industry. So it's not just about teaching you. We want to help you get across that line.
Can I add to that as well? One of the things that we do here very often is that our coder graduates are extremely hardworking and they're really competent coming out of the courses. So the industry partners that we have are really impressed with the quality that they're getting from the graduates out of the course. And then it feeds back into, the school. They take the graduates, we produce the graduates, it just keeps going and going. So they're really happy with it.
Definitely, for sure.
Yeah.
So Laura, is there an option to do an internship remotely? Yes, there is. So, I guess remote is, to be honest, it wasn't uncommon in tech, before COVID, but since COVID, it's really just been embraced tenfold. So there's a lot of companies out there that, have literally, broken their leases on some of their offices, and they literally don't even have office space anymore. Their companies have gone entirely remote. And so a lot of their employees are remote. Therefore, a lot of companies are happy to take on remote, students for internship as well. So while, we do, I guess, push to have students actually go to these offices if an office is available as much as possible, because we just feel like you're going to learn more by being there. Remote internships is not entirely out of the question. So that's the thing that happens as well. Yes. Any other questions, guys? Rahajo, is there any out-of-class support available to students that struggle with, say, a particular concept? So basically, our educators will, help you the whole way through. They do tend to sort of stay back a little bit in class to sort of like help people get across the line if they don't quite understand. It's a very supporting and nurturing environment at Coder Academy, so you really don't have anything to stress about. Our educators, for the most part, will always be available within business hours. So on the weekend, no, you're probably not going to be able to catch anyone. But within business hours, you'll be able to catch someone. So for instance, this course is delivered Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You'll be able to reach out to people and find out more and talk to them. Also, you're going to have a dedicated Discord channel, okay, where educators and students are always constantly chattering about certain things. So you'll find that you'll end up talking to a few students that are in your cohort and helping them with things that they might not understand, and then someone else will do the same for you as well. So everyone kind of gives themselves a leg up as well. We sort of try to look at it from the perspective of the educators as senior developers and the and all of the students are junior developers. So from the moment you walk through those doors and start class, you're in the industry. So yeah, that's how it works.
Another one there from Laura, which is just concerning the processing power of a laptop. So what does it need to be, she asks.
Oh, yeah. Cool, no worries. So just an i3. No, I'm joking. I don't think you're going to laptop. Look, to be honest, you don't really need that much power for what you're doing. You're not really using your laptop as like, a server or a cloud server or anything. So it doesn't really take too much grunt. So pretty much anything is good to go. I think at the time I used what did I use? I used a Surface Pro 4. That's what I was studying with at the time, which is really not that powerful these days. But yeah, basically, just try and have 8 gig of RAM minimum. Look, you don't even really need that much hard drive space or SSD space, because a lot of the stuff you do will be going onto GitHub. It'll be stored in the cloud. But yeah, you really don't need that much. I think like we recommend and if you're going to go to the Mac path, or really anything maybe 2016 or newer is recommended. That's pretty much it, you know. And as far as OS goes, operating system, you want to have, you know, Windows 10 and up, or for Mac, you probably want to have like anything Mojave and up is the way to go. Does that make any sense? Did I just speak gibberish? hopefully that, yeah, cool. No worries. Too easy, Laura. All good. Sweet. So does anyone else have any further questions before we call it a day? It's been a pretty short and sweet one. But look, you know, we've all got, you know, Elden Ring to play, and I understand that. I'm one of those people. I'll try not to hold you guys up any further. Oh yeah, Yang in mid-30s.
No, Yang, no, not too late. No.
It's all over, Yang. Sorry, mate, you're done.
No way, it's too late. You're in the best spot. That's the sweet spot, my friend. We have people joining our courses that are in their 40s, 50s, and even in their 60s occasionally. So please, no, you are in a really good position there to be walking into a job in your 30s. All good.
The funny thing about being a little bit older, it actually sort of works to your favor, because basically after once you become a developer or a data scientist, and you sort of start to break into the industry, you'll find that a lot of companies these days, they're actually not chasing students directly out of university that have come straight from high school. They actually would prefer to take on people who have more life experience. So I guess the older you are, the more life experience you have. Also, they do enjoy taking on people that come from, you know, other industries. It makes them more diverse employees. And you know, you can bring new ideas to the table that may not have been thought of before, you know. So to be honest, you know, being a career changer, being a little bit older, these sort of things actually help you more than hinder you. Yeah. Cool. Well, Lee, it's been beautiful.
It's been amazing. What a great half an hour it has been today. Lovely.
Guillermo's got a question there. How hard is the math component? Oh, Guillermo, if you're not good at maths, mate, you may as well give up now. No, it actually is not as difficult as people think. I think a lot of people build it up in their head and just assume that, like, when it comes to coding, it's all maths based. I mean, technically, it is if you think about it, but it's not at all, right? So really, the only kind of maths that you need for this sort of stuff is really basic, you know, just, you know, I think, you know, some subtraction and some multiplication, those sort of things. Learning things like to the power of, that's like a thing. And also order of operations, okay, which is like, you know, you've got like a big sum and there's brackets and things inside there, and working out how to actually, you know, what part to do first, okay. These are the sort of things that, you know, you could, if you wanted to, you could brush up on before jumping in. But to be honest, you're also going to brush up on those things while studying with us as well. So look, it really, you know, the only issue, you know, for a lot of people may be the fact that they haven't been to high school in a long time, right? Because realistically, you learned all these things. You learned all these things in high school, and I believe you learned it in early high school. So you have done all these things before. And a lot of people, I think Bianca says, one of the biggest issues people have with maths is the fact that it comes down to how they were taught maths, and that's why people have a fear of it. But you know, the thing is, you get nothing to worry about. It's going to be different. It's going to be different maths that you may not sort of like be familiar with, but we're going to, like, you know, help you the whole way through. So don't stress about the math side of things. It's also a very small portion, to be fair, of the actual course. Yeah.
Quite a big question there from Yang as well. This one may take a bit of explaining. So what's the difference between the data science bootcamp and the undergraduate certificate in data analysis? They're very different. The first biggest difference is the amount of time that you're expected to put in. So if you want to take the data science bootcamp, you're looking initially, like in this first iteration of it, at least 21 hours per week for that one, the 3 days. If you take the undergrad cert, to give you an idea of how much lighter it is, it takes 6 months and your contact hours are virtual 2 hours each Tuesday night for that period of time. So you can already kind of get a picture of how much lighter on the material is. Dallas, what would you say is the main difference in the job outcomes for these as well?
Yeah, so look, the undergrad certificate, it's designed for someone to be able to, sort of just chip away at whilst having a full-time job. As far as job outcomes go, you could potentially put, the skills on your CV. Maybe you could use it to sort of like move up the chain a little bit in your current role, but realistically, it's not the sort of course you're going to be moving into the industry afterwards. It's a stepping stone into further study is the best way to look at it. So it really touches on the fundamentals, the very basic fundamentals of data science. Whereas obviously the bootcamp is all about data science, where you'll be learning to become a data analyst. You'll be then moving into data science, which is talking about at its core like theoretical stuff when it comes to data. So it's way more comprehensive. And with the undergrad cert in data analysis, you don't get the mentoring sessions. You don't have the networking sessions. There is no industry placement. It's just a short undergrad certificate. A lot of people use it to get a bit of a taste to see if it's something that they want to continue studying. We also have the undergrad certificate in programming, and that's something good for people to sort of have a bit of a taste to see if they're keen to get into programming and maybe web development as well. So they're there for a bit of a taste, but they're not as comprehensive. Yeah.
I've found that quite a lot of people will take the undergraduate certificates who maybe it doesn't have to be in the tech industry, but in the industry, a project or something might come up that they may need some coding skills for. And so they would take on the undergrad cert outside of their work hours, which would then, allow them to upskill and then essentially move on to a higher paid position, maybe in their company. So that's the kind of thing that we do see a lot with the undergraduate certificates. Very useful, but for a different demographic, essentially. Yeah. And what do the assessments look like?
Look, I guess, for the most part, the assessments are going to be projects, right? What we try and do at Coder Academy is, to sort of like, lead on from saying earlier, educators being senior developers and, students being junior developers. What we try and do is we have our assessments sort of aligned quite nicely with how projects would actually be completed in industry. So basically, you're going to be running through a project, you're going to be using agile practices, you're going to be doing all this sort of stuff that you would be doing in industry, only through assessment style. So that's what it comes down to. I kind of can't really explain it any further because I guess it just wouldn't make too much sense. But one major factor is, we kind of can't really talk too much about that accreditation until we got approval for it as well. So, but that's what it's going to be. The assessments are going to align quite nicely with projects that occur in industry. And it all comes back to you being able to transition from education to industry nicely. And also what Lee was saying earlier, a lot of companies do tend to take on Coder Academy grads because by the time they come into the industry, there's a lot less hand-holding that needs to be done. Our grads seem to thrive a lot better purely because they've been, taught the right things. So that's what it comes down to. The assessments, they're going to like basically align with projects within industry. So it's going to be just like working a tech job. Cool. Can you tell us more about the various career outcomes? What are the differences between data analyst, data scientist, business intelligence analyst? So the first thing I'll talk about right there is I'll talk about the first two, okay, because they're the most important ones. So you got a data analyst or who completes data analysis. I really hate those two words. I stumble over them constantly. And then
Hard
you got
to
data
say.
scientist, data scientist, right? So Basically, with an analyst, okay, the easiest way, if we're talking about a hierarchy here, you got data scientists at the top, okay? So data scientist tends to have a team of analysts below them, okay? Analysts are the ones that are doing all of the the scraping, the cleaning, the manipulating of data. Okay, they're the ones that are sorting the data out. Okay, and possibly doing pulling data from using SQL, or possibly creating data, and also they'll be creating data stories. So what I mean by creating a data story is kind of like you could put it as simply as a pie graph or a pie chart. Okay, that's a data story right there. You've got numbers, and then you're showcasing pieces of the pie accurately or inaccurately, depending on what you're doing. But that's basically what a data analyst does. Okay, they kind of work in the now. They work with the numbers they have. Whereas when it comes to data science, okay, a data scientist works more on a theoretical level. So you'll have analysts below you, but what you'll be doing is you're sort of theorizing for what could possibly be coming in the future. So you might be pulling data from places to prove a point, to sort of be like, this is happening here, and we're going to predict what's going to happen here. So predictive sort of data is where data scientists sort of that's where they lurk. That's where their area.
So that's where predicting what model of what the next model of car should look like and all the features it should have kind of comes from, that kind of idea.
Yeah, I mean that's a good example. So yeah, in the whole future cars sort of industry, that's one particular example. Yeah, so that's what it comes down to. So data scientists get paid the big bucks. Data analysts, they get paid all right too, to be fair. But they generally have a data scientist as their boss. So in this bootcamp, obviously you're going to learn everything about data analysts and data scientists. You're not going to move directly into industry as a data scientist straight off the bat. You are going to move into the industry as an analyst and then move your way up into becoming a data scientist. Okay, that's how that's going to work. I don't have a lot of knowledge on business intelligence analysts, to be honest. Yeah, I can't really tell you too much about that. To be fair though, what you'll find, much like in development with tech, all these, half the titles are the same thing. Okay, so being a DevOps engineer is also essentially just a senior backend developer. So you'll find that there's just a lot of names for things, but once they're broken down, it's not as crazy as you think it is. So I don't really know what a business intelligence analyst is, unfortunately. I can't tell you that. But hopefully I explained those other two for you well enough. Cool. Sweet. Any other questions? Rightio.
Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, we might call it a day then. Thank you so much for for coming this evening and checking out what we have to say. If you didn't get your question answered, absolutely reach out to us. You've got our phone number, you've got our emails, but if, hopefully we'll talk to you really soon. But yeah, thanks for coming tonight. And Lee, thanks for being here as well.
Thank you.
No worries. And we hope to see some expressions of interest come through for our data science bootcamp soon. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Bye.